Hey guys, Big D here. Liam's running the camera today. Welcome back to another episode of Big D's and Liam's Custom Garage. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're not working on either one of the cars today. Today we're going to fix another problem. We're going to work on our power washer. The cool thing about this is this would pretty much apply to any small motor, and this is one of the biggest mistakes people make when their lawnmowers stop running. They think, oh, it's a piece of shit, I changed the spark plug, I changed the air filter, I changed the oil, and it still won't run, I have no spark. Well, 9 times out of 10, that is because you have surface rust on your flywheel and your coil, and it's not allowing it to connect together and make the spark needed to travel to the spark plug. So that's the problem we've been having with this. We've also been having some problems with the kill switch not wanting to disengage when we go to try to start it. That's why there's a zip tie on it right here. I'll show you guys better detail of that when we are tearing it apart and everything. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys this quick, simple, easy fix, how you can get your spark back, save your lawnmower, garden tiller, weed eater, whatever. Don't throw it away. 9 times out of 10, this is the problem, and it's an easy fix. Here we go. Down here on the floor, my child. Okay, so these first bolts, there's 3 of them. They are a 3/8 standard size socket. This is your pull cord / flywheel cover. So let me get these little bolts out of here. You got one in front, you got one on the side here, and then one on the opposite side over here. Now the oil dipstick tube is attached to this, but it has a rubber O-ring down here that seals it into the motor. So when I pull this out, yes, the dipstick tube will come out, but it reseals and pops just right back down in there. It's no big deal. I'll take that screw out. Come over here, grab this one.
Microphone cord.
My cord. we're using the microphone again. We've kind of been noticing here lately, it sounds like our talking on our videos is not that loud and coming in all that clearly. So we're using my highly sensitive microphone.
Yeah, hopefully the air conditioner isn't drowning out.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. So we got all 3 screws out. Now we're going to lift this out. Now, some of you, yes, you'll have a dipstick tube attached to this. Some of you won't. Okay? This also applies to your vertical motors too. They operate the exact same way. So if you have a vertical motor, like on a rototiller, something like that, where the spark plug's on the top of the motor, same concept, okay? Exact same concept. Let me get, I can also give you guys a little bit of a quick update before we continue on with this. Actually, Liam probably should because it's his car. Yesterday, he did take the time. Now that the muffler and everything's had a chance to break in. Yesterday afternoon, he went ahead and welded the center bracket hanger back on the mid pipe underneath the car and got rid of the rattling noise.
Yeah.
So
That's all fixed now. Yeah.
yeah,
So that rattle that you heard in the video is completely gone.
yeah,
It was just sagging a little bit more than we thought it would. That's all.
yeah,
Quick fix.
yeah. And he did find 2 or 3 pinhole leaks in the mid pipe from my welding where I just didn't get my welds completed. But he went ahead and found those and got them plugged up while he was at it too. So
Yeah.
now basically the first stage of the exhaust is truly done.
Yeah. Shouldn't have to mess with it anymore.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. Also, if you do what we're getting ready to do and you put it back together and you're still having the same problem, more than likely then it's going to be your coil. Okay, this is your coil. It's held on with 2 screws. They're fairly cheap. You can get them at basically any lawnmower repair store. You can order them online like Amazon. They're really cheap, easy fix. Again, people, stop throwing your small engine lawnmowers and stuff away thinking that they're done and blown up and they're no good anymore. 9 times out of 10, you literally take this cover off, clean this off with some rust. If you have clean this off with some rust, no, you clean the rust off with some sandpaper. And again, if that doesn't fix the problem, you spend less than 20 bucks on a new coil. You put it on, boom. Your freaking motor's running like a brand new one. You've saved hell of money. You're not having to go out and spend $300-400 on a new lawnmower or a new rototiller. You literally spent less than 20 bucks and fixed it yourself. Okay? I know this stuff, small engines is where I got my start. My brother can confess to this.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I mowed yards every summer and I had repeat customers every year. And part of that was with my dad, he got tired of me using our own personal lawnmower on my own jobs. So I was going on like bulk pickup days, like big trash item pickup days. I would go around and I'd pick up people's lawnmowers that were thrown away. I'd bring them home. I'd start tinkering with them and figured out the little small things like this to freaking fix them. And then next thing I knew, I had 5-6 working lawnmowers in my own fleet that I can switch out at any time for any yard that I was doing. If I needed a wider base lawnmower, I used it.
Yeah, the small lawnmowers are real handy to push around. You don't want to be pushing a big lawnmower around all the time because, you know, we didn't have a vehicle available all the time. Our dad didn't want to truck around our lawnmowers to different jobs, so I did it for a while too.
Yeah.
I was making like one week I made like $100 in 1 week. It was freaking crazy.
Oh yeah.
You can charge people an arm and a leg to mow their lawn.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was on an arm and a leg back when I was doing it.
It's like $20 for a big
I was
lawn.
mowing yards back in the 80s, charging people $20, and to me, you know, I'm like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
I'm making a freaking killing, you know. But in that process, because I enjoyed doing it, I also had to learn how to fix my own shit. All right, guys. Found the tool. Believe it or not, it's a hand screwdriver, you know, one of them ratcheting ones
Yeah, just
that you can change the heads on. But you don't use the head on this. these screws that hold the coil on this Briggs and Stratton motor, okay, happen to be that exact size that you would normally put your screwdriver bit in. So, yeah.
That's pretty useful.
So we're going to take these 2 screws off.
If you can
Okay.
get the angle right. There we go. Which we had really tightened down the last time we did this.
Yeah. Yes, we have done this before, as you guys can tell, because the flywheel's already...
It's just the nature of a power washer. The water spray
Yeah, all the water
gets in,
spray and stuff.
gets in here, and this is like...
Well, yeah, you can, okay, to prove that point, look closely at the top of this coil. The last time we cleaned it, it looked brand new, and you can already see all the surface rust that's on it.
Yeah.
And that was just from 2 weeks ago when I used it to clean
Man.
Project Dark Sand.
Yeah, it's not stainless. It's just regular iron or steel.
So,
And it's magnetic too, so we can't use steel wool on it or anything like that.
yeah, do not use steel wool on this. This is a magnetic pickup. So if you use like steel wool, it's going to stick to those magnets and then it will screw shit up.
Yeah.
You need to use plumber's sandpaper like this for cleaning copper pipes before soldering, or just some regular old sandpaper.
Yeah.
Or you can also use a Scotch-Brite pad.
Anything rough that's not metal.
Yeah, as long as it ain't got metal in it, and you can basically use it as like a sanding type thing. Yeah. Now, my small engine history goes on further than this. I learned in the mid 90s that the 5-horse Briggs motors could be bored out and fully built and put on racing go-karts, not your toy go-karts, actual racing go-karts. And so me and some friends started playing around with that, and that's also where I did my first port and polish jobs. I did on 5-horse Briggs motors to get the flow better. Yeah, I started on small motors like this, getting crazy freaking horsepower and torque out of them. It was ridiculous the power that we were getting out of these freaking flathead motors. But now in the go-kart racing world, flathead motors are basically obsolete, and everybody runs overhead valve motors now. So what I'm doing here, I don't know if Liam can see it. This is your contact surfaces for your coil. What I'm doing is I'm taking the sandpaper with my finger and I'm just lightly sanding. You don't need to put a whole lot of pressure on it. Lightly sand it off like so. Okay. I don't see any debris on there, no surface rust, so we're good there. Now, over here, here is your magnetic pickups. You got one here and one here, and those strike these. That's how you get your spark pulse to your spark plug. They travel through here, so as this is spinning, as the motor's running like this, it comes around and it hits that spark, hits that spark, and so on and so on. Okay, easiest way to sand this surface is just go like that, turn it with your hands, real slow. Get your surfaces sanded off real good, especially your magnets. Your magnets are your number one concern when it comes to the flywheel. You really want to get surface rust, debris, whatever, off of them, like so. Okay. Okay, people, no smart ass remarks saying that I'm blowing the freaking power washer. Oh.
Well, now they're gonna say it.
Okay, guys. Cool little neat trick on these motors: 3 horse, 5 horse, 10 horse, 12 horse. Yeah, vertical or horizontal. When you're setting these, because yes, they have a gap that they have to be set at. You don't need filler gauges, people. Check this out. All you need is a cardboard, everyday business card. Okay? Now watch. I'm gonna put the screws back in our coil. Okay? Oops. Hold on. Gotta turn the flywheel because I got the magnets facing me. When you're redoing this, don't do it on top of the magnets. Turn the magnets to the opposite side. Because if the magnets are there, you're gonna get a false gap and all that shit. And yeah. That's a pain in the ass. Take that back. You do want to set the gap when you're sitting on top of the magnets, because the magnets help pull it in. Timing, you don't mess with the timing up here. The timing's never done with the coil and the flywheel up here like a traditional motor. The coil, because it's a 1-cylinder, it's literally inside the motor. You have a timing mark dot on the crank and a timing mark dot on the cam gear, and you line those two up, and that's it.
Oh, because the shaft, because the flywheel's connected to the shaft, it never goes out of time.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yes. This is your crankcase here, where your crank and your rod and all your oil sits, and your flywheel's mounted to the crank, and then underneath your water pump, where if this was a lawnmower, okay, your blade would be right here, mounted to the bottom of the motor, but instead on a power washer, you got a high pressure water pump mounted to it instead. Okay, I got these kind of finger tighted down. Okay, you got to pull out away from your flywheel. Liam can see the gap all that good or not. Gap's pretty wide open right now. Okay, we take a business card like I was saying, slightly bend it, slide it down in here, just like so. Bring your flywheel magnets back around. Okay, like this. All right. Now, you take your thumb on whichever your non-dominant hand, and you push it in. Okay? That's your gap. Okay? Your gap is as thin as a cardboard business card. Now, the trick is, see how I'm still putting pressure on it with my thumb? You have to hold that pressure as you're tightening down these screws. Okay? If you don't hold this pressure, your gap will be wrong. Okay? And you still will not have spark. So we tighten that one. Just snug it first so you have a chance to come over and get this one. Okay, still applying the pressure. Then we push straight in on the center. Center down. Same thing over here. Now, remember guys, you're screwing into aluminum, so do not over tighten because you will strip this out and it will be ruined, okay? Then you turn it, now that your screws are tight, turn it off the magnets, like so. Oh shit.
A little too tight.
Well, that one might be a hair tight, but
Uh-oh.
we can fix that right quick. That's an easy fix. I was pushing it a little too hard on that one when I was tightening it. Don't want to press too hard, guys. You don't need to. It just has to be snug up against the card. You're not trying to freaking push through the card. So now I get to do this all over again for you guys. Thank God I got other business cards. Okay guys, got another business card. We're going to do this one more time. It also does help if the card is like shiny, not flat colored like they are on the back. Kind of helps with the sliding out process. That's what she said. Okay, push it back in.
Not as hard this time.
We gotta rotate around back to the magnets again. Okay. Okay, let's cinch this one down. And we'll cinch this one down. Okay.
You have to see the card move that time. There.
Boom.
Got it out.
Card's out. You see where it was pressing up against it? And that gives you your perfect gap. I'm gonna just doesn't need it, but okay. There you go. Your flywheel's clean. Your coil has been cleaned and it's been re-gapped. Okay, now we go and put the cover back on real fast. Okay.
That goes on the
On the inside, there's these dust brackets. You got to make sure they go on the inside of the cover, not the out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Did that one come out?
Yeah, it did. As it does. There we go, I got it. On this side, had to push up on the lower flange to get it up in the
Okay, and our
holes are lined up.
dipstick tube resealed back down in the crankcase. Spark plug wires coming through where it's supposed to. That's another thing you want to do too, because the spark plug wire travels through metal. You also want to check for fraying, chafing, because if there's even a slightest nick in that, it will arc to the metal instead of traveling down to the spark plug.
Yeah. Everything has to be insulated
Yeah.
properly.
Okay, so now we're gonna put our screws back in. You gotta tell it who's boss sometimes. I need a screwdriver. That damn little bracket underneath there is not wanting to cooperate, so I need to
Oh, you remembered what drawer it was in. That's
Yes.
great. Cool.
whoo, head rushed it up too fast.
Woo!
Holy shit.
Big D's going for a ride right now.
Yeah,
He'll be back in a second.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay, I think I got her lined back up. Little screwdriver persuasion. Okay. All right, that one's going in. Let's get these screwed on here. And yes, we're not using air today, simply because we're using the sensitive microphone. We're in a garage trying to stay cool. So,
it's working too.
yeah, it's working really well right now. Thank God.
Yeah, I got the veins going back and forth between the two of us here right now.
Yeah. Speaking of AC, I got a serviceman coming to my house this afternoon
Yeah.
because
It's being temperamental.
it won't cool down past 80.
That's no fun.
No, so contacted the landlord. The landlord contacted the service people, and
Yeah. Probably just need to charge. Maybe a little leak
little
fix.
service. You know,
And since you're renting or leasing,
yeah,
it doesn't
it don't cost me shit.
yeah, that's the advantage of leasing.
Yeah, something goes wrong, you don't have to pay for it.
Yep. Unless it's one of your appliances.
Yeah, or unless you got one of them asshole friggin' landlords that likes to try to put everything on you.
Yeah, it raises.
Like, oh, the AC went out because you didn't change the filter every month like you're supposed to, so
Yeah.
it has to come out of your pocket. You know, shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's called a slumlord.
Yes. Okay, cover is back on. Now, real quick here. When I was talking about the kill switch earlier, let me get a flashlight or something of some kind real fast so I can really show it to you guys.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Flick's over there.
Yeah.
He's got our handy dandy light. Little garage light.
Only at Harbor Freight. No.
I think it's like Home Depot or Lowe's
Yeah,
or so.
something like that.
That thing's older than this power washer.
We buy a lot of things at Harbor Freight. We call it the man store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of their stuff's cheap. You might want to just pay attention to what you're buying.
Some of their tools are cheap, but they do have the rule that Craftsman does with their hand tools, like their sockets.
Yeah.
If you break a socket, you take it back up there and they exchange it for free.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Since Sears really isn't around that much anymore.
No, it's not. Okay, so over here.
And you can buy Craftsman at Walmart now, I think.
Yeah, Craftsman sold at Walmart now.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, I don't know either. Okay, so over here, I'm trying to move the zip tie out of the way a little bit so you can see what we got going on.
I can see.
Okay, so there's a wire here, and this is your stop, and then when you go to the middle, that's your basically your idle, or what they call turtle, and then full throttle is full rabbit. But down here, when we go to our on-off position, the kill switch is not wanting to engage and disengage.
Yeah, it's a little.
So that's affecting things. So what we did last time was we stuck this zip tie. I need a better spot for this so I can. There. Oh, there we go.
Or I can hold it.
Yeah, that works too. So
There we go.
what we did was we took the zip tie, and of course now I moved it off the damn thing. So we took the zip tie and looped it around the air filter, brought it back around, and then ran it underneath the switch to hold it up against where we need it to be like so. Okay, I've repositioned it again. Let's see if it is engaging and disengaging. Yes, it is.
Acting like a spring.
Okay, so we are on run mode right now, and I got the zip tie underneath the kill switch, holding it in place. So now we can open the garage door and
Yeah, don't turn it on with your garage door closed.
Yeah. Now this is just going to be a test run for you guys. I don't have any water running to it, and I don't want to burn up the water pump. So literally
Yeah.
all I'm doing right
The
now,
water pump will heat up fast
yeah.
and burn itself out, and all the seals will. Yeah.
So all I'm gonna do real quick.
Might want to flip it around so the exhaust is pointed out the garage.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Okay. Now, small engines.
Have to
This
be
is
prime.
your primer ball.
It says 3 to 5 times right there on the label,
Yeah. So
but you might want to do a little more than that.
so you take this and you
But be careful, you're going to flood it.
Yeah,
if
you don't want to push it too much because then you'll flood your car. All you're doing is you're priming your carburetor, getting some fuel up in it, like so.
Best to do it a little bit to start. Try to start it. If it doesn't start, do a little more, and you know.
Yeah. Let's give her a full rip and see what happens.
I'll keep an eye on the.
Okay. We're gonna go full rabbit now. Prime it a couple more times. This power washer has always already been temperamental since day one. For some reason it likes a lot of fuel. Don't know why.
There we go.
And there you go.
And the kill switch works.
There you go. She's running. So now you guys know that has been another video or episode, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm Big D. He's Liam. Now you guys know how to fix a small motor. We will see you guys again on Saturday. We are no longer doing Friday videos. We are now doing Saturday Twitch live streams. I was going to say live broadcast.
Same
Live
difference.
streams. Okay? And we really appreciate it if you guys start coming to our live streams, ask us questions, because it's basically a Q&A. You can ask us anything you want. We'll talk pretty much about anything. So, yeah, it's 9 a.m. Pacific time for us. So wherever you're at in the country, the world, the United States, you'll have to adjust for that. But yes, 9 a.m. Pacific time, Saturday morning on Twitch. What's it called? D and Lee? D's and...
Big D and Liam's.
Yeah, Big D and Liam's.
Or just search Big D and Liam.
Yeah. And the link will also be at the end of the video. Okay? Also check out all of our other social media sites. I'm Big D, he's Liam, and we're out.